Hey guys, it's Marshall from Going Gear, and today we're going to take a look at a new big and bright light from Olight. This is the X6 Marauder. If you watch any of my SHOT Show videos, you've probably seen this guy before. I think we had it in 2011, and I know we had it in 2012 in the Olight video. So really cool light. A remote battery pack, nice handle on it, 5,000 lumens out of this thing, out of the X6 XM-L LEDs. But we'll get all into that here in a little bit. As you can see, I just have the light here. I actually have the battery charger as well, and I'll show you that here in just a second. I don't have the packaging. This is actually a production unit, but they don't have the packaging finished. So I don't have all the packaging and accessories. I might do a short video on that in the future, but just check out our site if you want to go see any of the accessories or the packaging. You want to see what that looks like. But I mean, this is what most people care about. This is all I care about personally. I know some people like the fancy boxes that they come in, but this is what I care about right here. So here's the light. The first thing that I want to say is how surprisingly lightweight it is. And this is a 5,000 lumen light. They separate the battery pack, and it comes with a nice belt clip on it, so you can just attach that to your pants or your pack or wherever else. And you have this coiled cord that actually stretches a pretty decent amount. The manual rates it at about 1 meter, so anything over that and you might overstretch it, but up to about 1 meter, you got some pretty good stretch on this thing. So you can attach it to your belt and have it waving around and not have any problems with it. But yeah, this thing is really lightweight because the batteries are separated. So a lot of the material that you have here, of course, we'll show you the LEDs down in there. So you have the 6 Cree XM-L LEDs, 6 separate reflectors, but you can see not a whole lot of material in there because all these cooling fins, you can see there's no material in there to help keep the weight down, and of course to increase the surface area because you're putting a lot of power to these LEDs. So all these cooling fins let it cool really well, and you don't have to worry about it overheating. In addition to that, it actually has an overload built into it. So if it gets above a certain temperature or if it runs for too long, then it'll drop the output just so you don't risk damaging the LEDs and everything in there. Another thing I like to note is that it's coated with rubber, really nice feeling rubber. It's actually a carbon fiber and rubber composite. Has a really great feeling to it. Surprisingly rigid. The one they had in 2011 flexed a little bit, but this one's nice and tough and sturdy, and it helps protect it from impact, so you drop it on something, you don't have to worry about it breaking. Nice tough lens on there. I'm going to show you the different parts of it. There's the back of it, so you've got the cord coming out that's going to attach to the battery pack. And then you have these rubber strips here that help protect your hand. So these are going to get pretty hot. The cooling fins are going to get pretty hot. So if you accidentally touch in this area, chances are you're going to be touching these rubber pads instead of the cooling fin. You know, you actually accidentally brush up against it, you're not going to hit the hot part of it. Another really nice touch here on the bottom is it actually has a tripod mount. So this is one of the just standard tripod mounts. I think this is the 1/4 inch mount. But it's one of the standard ones, so it'll fit most tripods. So you can attach this thing to a tripod if you don't want to carry it in your hands and have a nice stationary unit. Really great for search and rescue and those kind of guys. I've actually had some movie producer guys be interested in this thing, so lots of potential in this light. Remote battery pack, I'm going to disconnect this and just show it to you real quick. The pieces actually screw together, which is really nice because it's actually nice and secure, because a lot of battery packs, remote battery packs that I've seen in other applications, you attach them together like that, and if you'd accidentally bump it, I mean, it comes apart relatively easily. But once you connect it together and screw the parts together, that's not coming apart. Unless you pull it apart, that is not coming apart. Wire continues into the battery pack. Alright, so here on the battery pack you can see you have 3 indicators on here. You've got high, normal, and low. Zoom in on that. And then a switch down here, so when you hit that switch, one of those 3 indicators is going to light up, assuming it has a charge, of course. So high is going to be when it's completely charged. So fresh off the charger, high is going to be lit up. Vast majority of the time it's going to be in normal. That's when you're in the normal voltage for the battery pack. Low is when you need to recharge it. So like with any lithium-ion battery, you don't want to let it get too low. So when you see this LED come on, be sure to recharge it as soon as possible. Here's the switch. Turns the battery pack on and off. And of course, without this powered on, the light will not turn on in the regular operating mode. Cover for the charging port. Got the charger right here. Pretty similar to what they have with the SR lights, so like the SR90 and all those other lights. Plugs right in just like that. plug the other end into your wall or to your, well, assuming all the pieces are connected, plug the other end into your wall or into your car's power inverter or wherever else. It's just a pretty standard adapter. And speaking of cars, I don't have a car in my house with me, but this can actually be used on a car battery. So this battery pack is about 12 volts. I think it's actually rated for 12.5 or somewhere around there. 12.6 volts, but you can actually attach this to a car battery. So I'm not sure exactly how that's going to work. I saw in the user manual that you can put the light into a mode where it's made to be able to directly connect to a car battery. So I'm sure we'll hear more about that before too long. But just be aware that that is an option. You don't have to use this battery pack. You can connect it to a different external battery source. But right now we're just going to be using the battery pack because that's what comes with the light. We're going to go back to the light and show you how the operation works. So on the handle, when you're carrying it, really nice interface. Right where your thumb is where the switch is. So nice and convenient. You don't have to worry about fiddling with different switches or turning any heads or anything like that. It's all where your thumb is naturally going to be when you're holding this light. And again, it's lightweight, and of course you have that handle on there, so it's really comfortable to use for extended periods. So, output on this thing. Tap that switch to turn it on, and you have 3 different outputs, and the way to select between those 3 is, wow, that is really bright. Actually, just looking at the screen of my camcorder, it kind of hurts. We were playing with this thing earlier, and you know, of course, the first thing we do is shine it in each other's eyes, and it pretty much gives you an immediate headache. And forget about the strobe mode, just the regular illumination gives you a headache. But you can see, hold down the switch, and it'll switch between those 3 different outputs. And when you see the one that you want, just let go, and it'll stay in that. I'm going to switch it down to one of the lower ones so you can actually see what I'm doing. It also has a strobe, and the way to get into that, double click the switch. So the same interface, or a really similar interface that you're going to see with the SR lights, and then just tap it to get back out of that, the strobe. And it does have a memory, so when you turn it off and turn it back on, it's going to go back into the mode that it was in when you turned it off. So if you always want it to come into low or medium or high, you can have it do that, and until you press and hold that switch, it's going to have the memory. So again, a quick overview. Tap that switch to turn it on, press and hold will switch between your different outputs, double click for strobe, and tap it again to turn it off. Alrighty, so that is the Olight X6 Marauder. We're going to go and take this guy outside, and we're going to show you how it does outside. Okay, got the X6 outside, got the big 40 mag light. Let's go and try out the mag light first. There's a little bush about 15 feet. Tree out there at 100 feet. I'm kind of hesitant to turn on the X6. It's about 1:30 in the morning. Up until now, in the 3 years that I've done videos, I've never had a neighbor complain. But if they're going to complain, this is the night. Because not only do I have the X6, I also have the 15,000 lumen or 16,000 lumen, whatever it is, XM18 from 4.7s out here. So this should be a fun night. So if you hear any neighbors yelling, it's first time. Probably not the last. Alright, let's try out that X6 and see how it does. I do my best not to point it at any of their houses. Alright, 15 feet. Obviously, it's honestly still kind of too bright for that. You're not going to use this for up close work. That is not what this thing is meant for. And like I mentioned before, I have that battery pack clipped to my pocket right now, and this is really comfortable to hold. You don't even notice the weight of the battery pack, because I mean, it's attached to your pants. I mean, would you notice something in your pocket if it's you know, like a flashlight or a knife or something like that clipped to your pocket? Just like that, you don't really notice the battery pack. So that's really nice. And the main body of this is so lightweight, you don't notice it. But we're going to bump up the output. There you can see max output of this thing. It's too bright. I mean, you see the crazy amount of lumens coming out of this thing. Alright, we're going to go and try a longer distance before I make my neighbors too mad. Let's just cycle between the 3 different outputs again real quick. Alright, let's try a longer distance. Okay, got the big X6 4D mag light. There's my house about 50 yards away. Tree in the front yard, 100 yards. Doesn't do all that great. Let's try out the X6. Before I was shining around in my backyard. Probably kind of hard to bother my neighbors. Now I'm shining around in my front yard. All my neighbors around me are going to see this. Hopefully it doesn't light up their living room and their bedroom when I shine it out here. Alright, so there's the house. Of course lit up extremely well. Tree in the front yard, over 100 yards away to the top of that tree. You can see how well it's lit up. And this is low. This is the lowest output that it goes to. Let's bump it up to medium. There it is on medium. I mean, big searchlights that I've seen don't even come close to this. Over 100 yards away to the top of that, lit up extremely well. No question at all what's going on. And that's medium. High, I mean, look at that. Look at the amount of light coming out of this thing. It's crazy. 5,000 lumens, top of that tree, lit up extremely well. Obviously this can do much, much further than that. It'll do hundreds of yards and do it really, really well. As you can see, the size of the spill lights up just everything in front of you extremely well. Of course, the hotspot, super bright. But I mean, this is definitely great for search and rescue, military, police, or anybody that just wants a really, really bright light. Just want to light up stuff really far away, or just light up everything in front of you. If you like it, you can buy it from us at goinggear.com. Any questions or comments, you can reach us in the comments or at goinggear.com. And if you like the video, be sure to subscribe. We do a ton of flashlight and other gear videos. Thanks for watching.
Hey guys, this is Chris from Going Gear. Been getting a lot of requests about trying to find that perfect pocket thrower for a lot of our fans out there. Great thing is, Olight's finally come out with the light, the X6. Fantastic pocket thrower, well over 500 lumens, can fit into any pocket with this new integrated pocket clip. Check it out. And there you go. Comfort. I can carry it around hands-free, don't have to worry about it falling out, and I have all of that lumen in there.